Heute ist ein sehr interessanter Tag. Heute machen wir ein bisschen Mathe. Today is a very interesting day. Today we are going to do a little bit of math. Don't worry about it. It's not calculus. It's not differentiation. And of course, it's not linear algebra. So it's basic arithmetic. And I'm sure we all can do basic arithmetic. Okay, so, there were some numbers floating out, and somebody floated these numbers to me, and I guess we had, close to 8,000 passports sold in Grenada in the last couple of years. And let's just conveniently use 7,000. All right, let's say it was 7,000 sold. Now, at 7,000 sold, all right, let's just say one person gets 5% of that number. 5%, only 5% of the 7,000 sold. Okay? That would be equivalent to the sale of 350 passports. Okay? 350 passports. Now, some people have floated a number out there to me of the commission being 30 grand. Okay? Guess you guys can confirm that for me. Okay, so 30 grand. Let's say on the sale of those passports, let's say 30% of the total revenue made goes to overhead and taxes and stuff like that. 30%. That will still leave you with $7,350,000. Okay? That's one person selling 5% of that 7,000 passport. $7,350,000. Now, let's just imagine there's a big fish. Let's just imagine someone happens to get 30%, a third of the business. Now we're talking about the good numbers, $44,100,000. And that is catering for the 30% off in terms of for taxes and overheads. Okay? $44,100,000. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, it's quite possible, I don't know, someone or company or some big honcho could get 30% of the sale of the 7,000 passports, right? It's possible. One thing is for sure, I'm in the wrong business. Boy, I'm in the wrong business. And maybe a lot of you Grenadians too are in the wrong business. I thought it was a little far-fetched when I spoke about the charlatans and the pocket fillers and the self-enrichers. But now after doing a little bit of math, because the math never lies, I realize that what I was saying was not far-fetched at all. You people who are bellowing your asses on Facebook need to ask for a raise. You guys are doing this for pennies on the dollar. Some of you are not even being paid. And those locally who are bawling at the top of their lungs and bellowing, you guys need to ask for a goddamn raise. You guys are doing this for pennies on the dollar. As they say back in the days, they're chinks in you. Come on. You need to get a little something more. That little stipend they're giving you to Bray, it ain't working. And you going at it. You're fighting tooth and nail and cursing out your fellow Grenadians. I mean, you guys are being especially vile to your fellow Grenadians for a little bit of stipend. For pennies. Literally pennies on the dollar. This is what you guys are doing this for. You guys are creating enmity and hatred. Okay? You guys are going at each other tooth and nail for pennies on a dollar. Wow. It's just freaking amazing. And some of you in the diaspora working your asses off. You're the one who funded them. You would think they'll give you a little something. Why did you fund them? I mean, if you invest in people, aren't you supposed to get a return on your investment? Some of you are struggling to pay your rent. You were taking your last dollar and sent it to these guys. And now, I don't know, it's like, bye-bye. They want nothing to do with you guys anymore. You can't even get a phone call. And after all of that, guess how they repaid you guys? When you guys went back for Carnival, they clamped your goddamn rental cars. They had a money grab on top of it. Whoa, where to go, boys? Where to go? And I saw one of them who's a big war bean. It was a big war bean for the NDC. Almost come in tears on Facebook. Almost in tears. Crying out, oh gosh, Grenada is the only time we get a little break. Why do you guys have to do this to us? This is what you guys support? Huh? Come on, man. These PBC and GBSS boys, they got a handle on this. They got a handle on this. They did the same thing during the PRG. They pitted the Grenadian population against each other. And today, you see the same tactic being used. They're dividing and pitting the Grenadian people against each other. And you know who wins in all of that? You know who enriches himself off of all of that? Them. Them. That is the game. Okay? They have you guys working overtime 24/7, cursing people out, getting all vicious and vile, while they're living the lofty life. You are enriching them. Remember, it was your doing. You guys made it possible. You should applaud yourself. These guys own estates now. You know what I'm saying? These guys are solid. You remember what it is alleged that one of them said? Win or lose, I'll be set for life. So look at the cunning of the PBC boys. They own estates. Everybody's doing pretty well. But guess what? The HHSS guy gets outsmarted. It's alleged he's still struggling with the little farm. What happened? It is alleged that people call him for 160 days and they can't get in touch with him for their money. I mean, what's going on? Do we always have to allow ourselves to be outsmarted by BBC and GBSS boys? I thought I taught you guys a thing or two. I didn't let no PBC boy or GBSS boy outsmart me. They had ultimate respect. I mean, let's get a little nostalgic here. I had the GBSS boys in their auditorium cheering for me. Barry, Barry, Barry. In the nationwide secondary school quiz, I had all the GBSS boys. Barry, Barry. I know some of them are gonna be pissed off by this. My peers know the story. Some of them are still down there. They're heavily entrenched in the society, who are directors, who are lawyers, doctors. They know the story. They can tell you guys. Some of them are managers of banks. Some are big teachers in SGU. My peers know. They know the story. Remember? We can get a little nostalgic here. Remember, HHSS, my partner and I won the first round. Okay, and we progressed to the second round, the semifinals. Unfortunately, I don't know what the hell happened. She was a business, girl, and I was a science guy. So I showed up to the second round, the semifinals, looking for my partner to help me out. She was going to answer the business questions. She didn't show up. So I think it was Mr. Basil Hafford or something like that. I think that was his name. He used to work in the ministry or something. And he said, hey, well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to represent your school all by yourself. And I went on, and I think I went up against Westmoreland and Convent or something like that. And I smacked one of them around. So it's no mystery. All the GBSS boys was like, Barry, Barry, Barry. You know what? I'm being fun tonight. I'm being cool. I'm having a little bit of fun. Because some people say, Barry, you're too serious. My goodness, why are you so serious? Well, I'm showing you guys that I got a sense of humor too. You see what I'm saying? I got a sense of humor. Now, I mean, after all that, look what's happening now. HHSS is being dragged in the ground. What the heck is going on? We're being smacked around politically. We felt so proud. We felt so overjoyed. It's like, oh, there's a minister. Oh, there's his HHSS. And what's going on? It seems like he's being sidelined by some lady who's coming along and promoting this Project Polaris as a big honcho. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so let's get back to the continued excesses and the rise of greed. And then they're not entirely satisfied. Greed is a dangerous thing, You know what they say? They say power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, money corrupts. It's like greed. It's the same thing. The more you get is the more you want. They're like, oh, we're not done with this. Let's conjure up another scheme. Project Polaris? That's something to get them on board, to make a little more money off of them. That white elephant? Oh, it sounds fantastic. Oh, we could play with their emotions. They like to dream. And of course, they got their mission lady. Come with sweet speeches, try to bamboozle you, and tell you, oh, Project Polaris, the dream. You are the ones who have them living that sort of life. You guys are the freaking best, man. You're the best. I want people to love me like that. Boy, I gotta hand it to these GBSS and PVC boys. They got this game down pat. They got this game down pat. Now all I can do is bask in having beaten them on a coat. So yeah, gotta hand it to the PBC and GBSS boys. They have outflanked, outwitted, outsmarted the rest of y'all. And while it is alleged our partner is struggling with his chicken farm, he's struggling. He's the only one left behind. But the PBC boys and the GBSS boys have done it again. Power to the PBC and GBSS boys. You reign supreme. The good thing about it, you've managed to do all of this without much physical contact. You've upped your game. You don't have to force people to do things anymore. You've become more sophisticated. Hooray! Hoorah! You people have a lot to learn. You people have a lot to learn. I'm not going to feed you too much. So while you're singing and dancing and whining and joking and eating oil long and drinking rum and taking your hard-earned cash and sending it to enrich others, I don't think once they have enriched themselves, I don't think they're going to bring back a little something home. I don't think they're going to bring back a little something home. So now I understand why the old socialist Marxist remnants would try to get close to these guys like flies on sugar. Because say what you want to say about these socialist Marxists, one thing they know, they can smell power from a mile away. And they know how to infiltrate and attach themselves to the centers of power. There used to be an old saying that you should stay close to the dragon, because if the dragon dribbles, you'd be able to feed from the dribble. But I'm telling you something, these dragons, they ain't dribbling at all. In diesem Sinne wünsche ich dir einen schönen Nacht.